And we are back with part 2 of week 4 of the Hawthorn Hoodie Crochet-A-Long 2024. So, once you've completed the portion that we went over in part 1, you should have what looks like this. So, the left side, as we're looking at it, of your shoulder portion of the front of the hoodie should look like this as of right now. So this, in this part of the pattern, the part that we just did, we worked up to where it says rows, for me, again, because I'm doing the extra small, it was rows 44 through 52. And then I stopped there. Again, your row number is going to change depending on the size that you're working on, but we already went over that. So I ended with row 52, which is this one at the top right here. And now we're going to move on to 53. So for this row, it's the same thing as before where we're going to chain one and turn. So let me just get situated real quick. Excuse the ends. I haven't woven them in yet. Okay, so we're going to chain one. So for this row, I want to try and keep this on camera so you guys can see it. Okay, so for me, again, it's row 53. The row number could be different depending on what size you're working on. We turned according to the end of the last row, we chained one, and now for me, again, because I'm doing the extra small, I'm going to do 26 half double crochets. So no matter, and then you're going to follow again by size to know how many that you want to do. And you'll know that you did it correctly because at the end of this row, you should have the last 5 stitches unworked. So I'm going to put 21 into that. I'm going to try and do it quickly because I know you guys really don't want to watch me crochet. But in order for me to really explain this to you guys, I kind of have to do it on camera. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And again, for me, I'm going to do this all the way up through 26. For you, it could be different because if you're doing a different size, then you're going to have more stitches, which again, I showed you in the last video, and in the previous weeks, how you can figure out which number you got to go by in the parentheses depending on the size that you're making. So, 1 second. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. We're almost there. 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26. Okay, so now regardless of how many stitches you just had to put in, you should have your last 5 stitches. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 unworked, meaning you're not going to half double crochet into any of those last 5 stitches. That's what the pattern says. So again, you do however many your number is based on the size, leaving the last 5 stitches unworked, and then you're going to turn your work. So we're going to leave this like that, okay? So we're going to chain 1 and we'll turn now. Now this is where, and again, now you should have what looks like this. Let me just show you. So you have the left shoulder going up. Here's like the right portion, and then you have your left shoulder, and then you have 5 stitches right here from our last part that we did unworked. So now you're going to, like I said, chain one and turn. And now, let me get the instructions back on the screen. Okay. Yes, we are here. So I chained one. Now I'm going to do, this is what it says. We're going to do 1 half double crochet. So into your first stitch as you normally would. Hold on 1 second. Sorry. Just wanted to tighten that a little bit. There we go. Okay. 1 half double crochet. Now half double crochet 2 together. There is a tutorial on my YouTube that shows how to do this if you're unfamiliar with it, or I'm going to show you right now. So all you're going to do, I want to make sure I have this close to the camera so you guys can see. You yarn over. So really quickly, half double crochet 2 together is making 2 stitches into 1. That goes for any stitch that says 2 tog, 2 tog, 2 together. It's turning 2 stitches into 1 because we're going to start making this smaller. So you're going to, for the half double crochet decrease, this is how you do it. You're going to yarn over, insert your hook into your next stitch, yarn over, grab the yarn, and pull up a loop. 3 loops on the hook, almost as if you were going to do a half double crochet. But you're going to leave them on there. You're going to yarn over again and go into your next stitch, yarn over, pull up a loop. You should have 5 loops total on your hook. And then you're going to yarn over and pull through all 5 of those loops. So we just turned these 2 stitches into 1 half double crochet. So the remaining instructions for this row so it was chain 1, 1 half double crochet, 2 together, and then 1 half double crochet in each remaining stitch across. So at the end of this row, you should have 1 less stitch than you had in the previous row. So I had 26 in the previous row. That was 1, 2, and I'm going to go across, and I should have 25. So this is 3, 4. I know this is tedious, but for the beginners, it can be really helpful for me to like really do this on camera. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. And this is why it's important to count your stitches, because in instances like this, it's important to make sure that you have the right number. 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25. There's our last stitch. So again, we have 1 less stitch in this row than we did in the previous row. And that decrease at the front is what did that. So we have done that. This for me is row 54. It could be a different row for you depending on the size that you're working on. So now we're going to go again for me to row 55 right here. So we're going to chain 1, and we're going to put 1 half double crochet in each stitch across until 3 stitches remain. Okay, so since we had, in my case, 25 stitches in the last row, we're gonna chain one and turn and half double crochet across until we have completed 22 stitches, because that will leave us with 3 remaining. So we're going to do 1. Again, I know this is tedious and I'm sorry for those of you who don't really need it. If you're able to read the pattern like as it is right now and work at your own pace, you absolutely, of course, do not have to follow this video. But for the people that are beginners or that have never done like half double crochet 2 together or things like that, they need to see this. It can be super helpful, especially visually for a lot of people. I lost track of my count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay. Ooh, totally went into the wrong spot there. 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Whoop. At least you guys can see me. 16. Making real life, mistakes on camera. 17, 18, 19, 20. We are almost there. 21, 22. And now we have our last 1, 2, 3 stitches unworked, which is what the pattern says. Okay. So we chained 1, we did 1 half double crochet in each stitch across until 3 remain. Now, once again, we're going to half double crochet 2 together. So if you want to see that again, you're going to yarn over like you normally would if you were going to do a half double crochet. Go into your next stitch, yarn over, pull up a loop. Right now you have 3 loops on your hook. Yarn over, go into the next stitch, yarn over, pull up a loop. There should be 5 loops on your hook. Yarn over, pull through all 5 loops, just like that. And then, so again, we chained 1, we put 1 half double crochet in each stitch across until 3 remained. We just half double crochet 2 together, and then we're going to put 1 half double crochet into the very last stitch right here and turn. Now you'll notice it's starting to go up on a little bit of a slant right here. That is what the decrease is supposed to do. It's supposed to give you that decline because we're making the neck part. That's why it looks like that. So now that we just did that, now this is where it can get a little bit tricky for you guys. So I just want to make sure that everybody pays attention to what I'm about to say as far as this goes. So we just finished, for me, row 55. Now, this very last row on the page right here, okay? So again, for me, it's row 56. Here's where a lot of people can get really thrown off, where it says repeat row 54, right? You have to keep in mind that if you're not working on the extra small, you're not going to necessarily repeat row 54. So if you're we're going to say you're doing the large, okay? It's for you, for row, this is not even your row 56 if you're doing the large. We have extra small, small, medium, large. So this is your row 58 if you're doing the large. That's why you got to pay really close attention to these numbers. So you're going to repeat, if you're working on the large, your row 56. Now, it could be really easy for you to go row 56. No. Your row 56, if you're working on the large, is right here. So you're going to repeat this row. So for me, it's my row 56. I'm going to repeat row 54 only because I'm doing the extra small. So for me, I do just bounce up to right here because that is my row 54. But again, just to help you understand what I'm saying, I'm going to go over it one more time. If you're working on the large, right? You have extra small, small, medium, large. So this is going to be your row 58. Repeat row for you 56. So you have to find row 56 and follow what that says. Hopefully that makes sense. Again, these numbers can be confusing, but you really do have to just like take a second, think about it, and it'll all start to make sense. So regardless of what size you're doing, you're going to repeat this row. So now that we just came to the end of this one, ooh, sorry, I somehow actually managed to find the center of the yarn for this one. It's the first time I've done that in this project. And I know this video is super long and I apologize, but again, some people need it. So, yep, we're now at the very last row on this page, okay? So, repeat row, again, for me it's 54, so we're going to go here, chain 1. I usually chain 1 and turn. You can turn and chain 1, it really doesn't make that much of a difference. 1 half double crochet into the first stitch, okay? Let me make sure I'm on the camera here. So as we normally would, and then half double crochet 2 together, which I'm going to do one more time on camera, okay? Yarn over, go into your next stitch, yarn over, pull up a loop. There's 3 loops on your hook. Yarn over, go into the next stitch, yarn over, pull up a loop. 5 loops on your hook, yarn over, pull through all 5 loops. That is half double crocheting 2 together. So again, because this is our last row on this page, so for me, row 56, we're repeating row 54. Another thing to keep in mind, if you're counting your stitches, you're repeating this row, but you want to follow down here for how many stitches you should have total at the end of the row because they're going to get lower. So right here, okay, we just did our first 2 stitches. So for me, I should have a total of, according to our pattern, 23 when I finish this row. So that was 1, 2, because I just crocheted 2 together, okay? I'm going to put number 3, 4. I just want to show you guys how it can be really important. This is 5. To count your stitches. 6, because if they don't match here, 7, it'll throw your entire project off. 8, 9, 10, 11, and again, we want to have, for me, 23. So that was 11, 12, 13, and 14. If you hear the music in the background, that's my daughter taking a shower. 16. See, I think I'm counting correctly. 17, 18, 19, 20, oop, 21, yep, 22, 23. Again, because I'm doing the extra small. Your number may be different for a lot of these. Then moving on to our next page. So for my row 57, we're going to repeat row 55. Again, if this gets confusing for you and you need help, please do not hesitate to message me or leave a comment, and I promise I will get in touch with you one way or another. So for my row 57, we're going to repeat row 55, which is here. All right, I'm going to try and... Okay, so this is my 55. And I'm going to chain 1, half double crochet all the way across until I have 3 stitches remaining. Again, we're at row, for me, 57 on the next page at this point. So I want to crochet until I have row 57, repeat row 55, which is here, till 3 remain. So since I had 23 in my last row, I want to half double crochet 20. That'll mean I have 3 left. So I think you guys should be starting to get the, like, it's almost like a pattern. So every time we're on this side of the hoodie, it's straight. Every time we get to this side of the hoodie, we're decreasing. And that's really all that's happening here. It's really like once you see it and it starts to make sense, you're kind of just like, oh, like it clicks. And it's really not tricky or as tricky as it seems. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And my other hope is that when we get to the other shoulder, you guys should be able to follow that on your own now that we did this. 11, 12. I'll obviously show you where to start. And then my hope is that 13, 14. You'll be able to work it up yourself for the most part. But in order to do that, 15, you kind of needed to watch me do this. All right, 16, we're almost there. 17, 18, 19, 20. So now we have 3 stitches left, like it says. Okay, half double crochet 2 together, which you guys now know how to do. Pull through 5, and then put 1 half double crochet. Oh, I think I went in. No, that was right. Sorry. 1 half double crochet into our very last stitch right here. Okay. For a total of, I now have 22 stitches. For row 58, my row 58, I am going to repeat row 54, which is, again, we're going to chain 1, turn, you're going to put a half double crochet into your first stitch, and then we're going to half double crochet 2 together. So that's 1, 2, And then we're going to crochet all the way across. And when I'm done, I should have 21. So that was 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. All right, there is 21. It says I should have, for me, again, because of the size that I'm doing, I should have 21, which I do. So that means we can move to our next row, which is our last row of the right shoulder. And all we're going to do is, once again, repeat row 55 in that one. So we're going to chain 1 and turn. Just going to move the whole garment here. And then half double crochet across until 3 stitches remain, like we've been doing. So if we're going to be left with 20 at the end of this one, then, or I'm sorry, no, we have 21 in the last row. So we want to get to the 18th stitch. So 1, 2, 3. Now again, remember, regardless of what size you're working on, it should look just like this when you get to the end. Of, like, you should have 3 unworked stitches when you get to the end of this side. That was 5. And then it's just a matter of you figuring out your own stitch count. But you're going to do the exact same thing that I just did, regardless of what size you're working on. So that should have been 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. I am so sorry. This counting has to be like really boring. But again, for those of you that are visual learners, 13, or beginners, or both, 14, or for anybody who needs it, 15. It can be really beneficial, so you do not have to watch, but for those of you that need it, I really hope it helped. 17, 18. Okay, and then we're going to half double crochet. We have 3, our last 3 stitches unworked, so we're going to half double crochet 2 together. Oh, I didn't get in right. There we go. Okay. Right? 5 loops on the hook, pull through. 1 half double crochet into the last stitch, and then according to our directions, we are going to fasten off, leaving a long tail for sewing the last row to the back panel. And that brings us to, well, hold on one second. We should have what looks like this if I'm, okay, so it's just a different direction. You guys cannot see. Okay, so here is, right now it's just on the opposite side as it was. But if we flip it over, let's do that, because this is how we were looking at it in the beginning. So we have this side unworked as of right now. We're about to work on it. And then this is our right shoulder. it will be the right shoulder when we wear it, but right now it looks like it's on the left. So you should have something that looks just like this. So there you go. I am going to fasten this off. I forgot to bring my scissors, and I will be right back and show you how to get started on the other panel, or the other side, the other shoulder, and then I'm going to end this video and let you guys go. So just give me 1 second. Okay, I have my scissors. Now, I know it says to leave a long tail for sewing. When I did my practice run of this pattern, I did leave a long tail for sewing, and I found that it wasn't always long enough. So I, in a lot of cases, had to end up going back and just using extra yarn. So I'm not going to leave mine that long. You don't really have to worry about that too much. You're going to be using the same yarn that you're using right now to sew it together. So just fasten off right there. All right. And then that is going to bring us to the next part, which is the left shoulder. It'll be the right shoulder when it's worn, but that's where we're at. So we're going to place the panel in front of us with the right side up, with the finished shoulder on the right hand side. So that means we want to be looking at it just like this. We want it, flip it over. Again, excuse my yarn ends. It's where I added a new skein. Yes. So right side up with the finished shoulder on your right hand side. Then, and again, this is going to depend on what size you are making. So for me, I need to count 31 stitches in from the left towards the center of the panel and join my yarn with a slip stitch. There will be 2 stitches in the center of the panel left unworked. So if you're doing the extra small, you're going to count 31 stitches in. If you're doing the small, count 33 stitches in. For the medium, 36 stitches in. For the large, 39 stitches in. Extra large, 42 stitches in. 2XL, 45 stitches in. 3XL, 48 stitches in. 4XL, 50 stitches in. 5XL, 53 stitches in. Meaning, since I'm doing the extra small, we're going to count 31 stitches from here. And again, as it says in the pattern, there will be 2 stitches in the center of the panel left unworked. So that's how you'll know if you counted correctly. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31. We should have this stitch unworked and this stitch unworked. Those 2, right? So we are going to join our yarn right here with a slip stitch like it says in the pattern. So again, for me, it's 31. You want to make sure you have 2 stitches unworked. This one is counted as a worked stitch because we crocheted into it right there. So you have to have 2 unworked. You join it with a slip stitch this is how I do it. So here's the end of my yarn, right? Okay, you're just going to like loop it over your hook, hold it on there, pull through, just like that. Okay, let me make this tail a little bit longer. And then chain 1. Okay. And because, okay, so, and again, now because we're on left shoulder, we are now starting back over. This is going to be row 4. This is, for me, row 42. So this is going to be row 43, which was this for the other shoulder. All right. So we're going to chain 1, which I just did, and half double crochet in each stitch across and turn. And then we're going to do that just like I did when I went off camera for rows, for me, 44 through 52. And then I am going to do a part 3 of this video because there's something different at this row right here. So I'm going to work this up and then I'm going to make a part 3. I'm not going to go over everything because you guys should know what to do and be able to follow the pattern for this side based on this. But there's one different part. So I'm going to make a part 3 of the video to show you what to do once you've worked up the next few rows and you're ready to start your decrease portion. And that will be the end of week 4. I'm really sorry that the video was so long, but some people really need it. So I'm going to cut it here, finish this up, and then I will meet you guys where it says row 53. Your row number may be different because it's a little bit different right here. And then I'll let you guys go for the week. So I will see you in the next video.